Hi everyone. Hi everyone, my name is Julisa. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, I have no makeup on today because I have a very special guest, my best friend, coming over to do my makeup. She is a celebrity makeup artist and she's gonna come over today and teach us some of her tricks. Her skin is so bomb. Like, her clients and even her makeup is always so good. Her skin looks flawless all the time. It's no secret that I've always kind of struggled with skin. I can do like a really bomb eye, but I've always had a little bit of a problem when it came to skin. So we're gonna have her come in today and she's gonna teach us all her tricks and she's gonna answer some of the questions that you guys left us on Instagram, and I'm so excited. So if you guys want to learn some of her tricks, then keep on watching. Okay, do you want me like right in the middle, facing you a little bit?
I think that's good right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good right there. I just want this part to show.
Alright you guys, this is my bestie, Val.
Hey guys!
I'm so excited to have you.
I know, we've been like trying to get this going for a long time, right?
Yeah, I think you're so good. So she's gonna teach us some of her tricks.
I know, I'm super excited, especially when Julisa asked me about skin. I'm like, that's like my jam. I love to do skin.
Your skin is always so good.
I was like, when you asked me, I was like, damn, it better look extra good for this video. I just feel like lately though, I've been so lacking on my like facials and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be on film, and I feel like everything so like, okay.
You look so good.
Cool.
Don't judge my skin, okay? So yeah, I haven't had a facial either, so it's a little busted.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you, but I don't know. Like, I'm gonna spray your whole face with moisture spray. Is that okay?
Do it, yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's what I do all the time, is actually spray like.
And we have a little guest. Hi, Jimmy.
She's so trying to like make an appearance.
You guys, we're mommies too. Like, not only do we like have a business, she's a freelancer. I don't freelance anymore, but we also have kids, and our kids are always around. So
I think that's why it's taken so long, because we're always like, oh, well, we don't have the kids, but we're like, you know what, let's just do it.
So if you guys hear like babies or kids walking around asking questions about homework, that's what it is.
Our kids are working on their homework right now. So I'm gonna like, you already cleanse your skin, yeah?
I have toner. Do you want me to like? I have swabs too.
I always like to go in just for all my clients. I like to put the skin. Okay, for sure.
So okay. What are you using?
So right now I'm using the Cinema Secrets. It's a cleansing water. And I actually, even if my clients tell me that like they cleanse their skin already, I always like to go in with something like just a gentle cleanser.
There it is. So
this one's just a cleansing water. It's gentle cleansing water. I like to do something that's like, that doesn't really have too many ingredients in it. What I've learned is sometimes we don't know what people's skincare has in there. So let's say if it's like an exfoliating cleanser, then what it's going to do to your skin is what it's going to do to your makeup. So for example, if it exfoliates, it's going to exfoliate your makeup, right? Oh, yeah. So sometimes, have you ever heard of people saying like, oh, it's because my makeup moves, or like it separates throughout the day, and they're like trying to really figure out the problem. Sometimes it could be maybe the creams they're using, or the cleansers that they're using.
Maybe that's what I do wrong, because I always use my nighttime moisturizer before my makeup.
Yeah, so sometimes what that can do is, like, let's say if it has retinol or glycolic or some type of ingredient that's a little bit more active, it can separate your makeup.
Do you want to say hi on the camera?
You want to say hi?
I'm not shy.
Yes, I am.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Say hi.
Hi.
You have to look at the camera, not yourself.
Hi. I know, I keep looking at myself too. Even after I like cleanse the skin, I always still like to do one last coat of just water, just to remove anything that's like excess. Even if we have a product that doesn't have many ingredients, sometimes it could still leave like some type of residue on the skin. It could kind of mess up the makeup. So I always like to go in one more time with just water. These like things, I run out of them so fast. So now I go in with this step here, and this one's the Moisture Spray by Cinema Secrets. So pretty much it's like the primer water. It's a hydrating moisture spray, like a moisturizer, but in a spray form. You can use it before or after your makeup, or in between as like a working spray. But I always like to use something more moisturizing. Okay. I feel like even if you have dry skin, even if you have oily skin, I think moisturizing the skin before is like a must. Alright, so now I'm going to have you close your eyes.
And then all these products you can find them at your store, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. For those of you guys that don't know, she does have a store in Rialto, and I'll put her Instagram handle hers and in the store so you guys can check them out.
So now I always like to, I love this brush. It's T26 by the Makeup Shack. So I just like to go into the skin and I like to just dust in the moisture spray. Or like set it in, kind of like lay it in a little bit better, more evenly. I worked for a brand that like focused more on skincare than their makeup. So when we would work on like the makeup, I felt like it never really went hand in hand with the skincare. It had like retinol, glycolic, some had retin-A, brightening. All those things though are going to really do active things to your skin, you know? So every time I would try to like slather on like a good something with maybe with like hyaluronic acid and like Chroma Bright to like brighten the skin, I would like slap it on the skin and then I would go in with foundation and I would literally see the foundation like
melting off, right?
Like, yeah, or rolling. Have you ever had foundation like where it like it like doesn't stick and it just like
yeah, that's when I over moisturize. That happens to me.
Yeah, and I always tell people don't add like too many products at the same time. Add as you go and like keep track of like what it's doing, because if you have too many products at the same time and something doesn't work, like you changed your foundation, you changed your moisturizer all at the same time, then you'll never know which one it was that was like messing up your makeup. So I'm going to go in and spray the skin one more time. And I really like how like, I don't know if, can you see? I'm going to have you actually look over there. But I really like how it has almost like a plumping effect. It makes the skin look like bouncy. I feel like since we do like, especially us as makeup artists, we do so many steps already. Like we do foundation, contouring, powders, primers. We do a lot of steps. So I feel like if we do too much skincare before we do all those steps, I feel like it can really like make the makeup move throughout the day, or maybe like separate throughout the day because you already have a lot of steps, or feel really heavy. I'm like super flattered because I really feel like all your makeup looks good all the time, and you're like, I want you to do my skin because you do bomb skin.
Looks so good all the time. Every time I know I'm gonna see you, I'm like, oh my god, my makeup has to look so good.
Oh my gosh, I feel the same. That's so weird. That's so weird. I remember one time we were at an event, at the Urban Decay event, and we met Ashley, or I met Ashley, and you're like, Valerie is so good with business advice, and I like looked at you and I was like, I think that about you. Aww. Like I thought it was like it's so funny how like have self-doubt, but and then what we think about
how you're helping other people.
Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's say you have more of like mature skin, or someone that has like way more dry skin. I would go in with a moisturizer. It's a lotion moisturizer. This one's actually by Mehron. This one's used actually a lot for like theater or HD TV. This one's mostly water-based and it's a lotion. It is a little heavier, but you just need like a little bit of product. And then the way I recommend to use it is with the brush too. Something like this. So the way with the brush, I like to use a flimsy brush like this. So it's so funny because I always used to use like very stiff brushes. But I've been a big fan of like fluffy brushes for like liquids and stuff. So that one's like, it's mostly water based. So I know that lotion's really safe as far as like all skin types go. If you have maybe like more mature skin or someone who has like mega dry skin, I always like to go in with something that's more like lotion based. Our kids get along so good, guys. I like love it. I love it because we both have a younger one and we both have like a middle school aged one, and they just get along so good. So they're over there playing. I always tell my clients, like in the evening your skin's more vulnerable, right? So it allows anything on it. That's why people say don't sleep with your makeup, because your skin like receives anything and everything you put on it at night. If you have a treatment that has like is attacking like sun damage, dark spots, pigmentation, texture, you want to do that in the evening, because that's when your skin's gonna like really receive everything that you're putting on it. During the day, our skin like naturally goes into a protection mode. So sun damage, sun rays, it's all bad for our skin. So it's trying to protect itself. So if you're putting your $100 creams, your $200 creams on, you're not going to get the value from it like you would in the evening. I'm going to use the same brush. So for Julisa, I'm just going to actually go straight into foundation. I have different techniques for different things. So this would be like a day, every day, what, you know, someone who works in the makeup industry, what I would do as a glam for them every day as far as skin goes. But if I'm like on set, I use other techniques. On set, for example, like it's something where you have to constantly be touching up and building. So I try not to do like the full glam at the beginning. I'll use creams like Cinema Secrets, Mehron, Graftobian. Those are like very artistry driven like palettes.
Yeah.
So I'll use stuff like that because that stuff you have to constantly be building it throughout the day. And I don't know if you can feel the way I do it, but I almost like press and pull, press and pull, press and pull. I do tapping motions like tap, swipe, and pull, but not like circular or not like painting. I don't really do those motions a lot. I think a lot of my techniques for everything, even when I do powders, it's more like a tapping motion. I'm just gonna go a tiny bit warmer.
So one of the questions was best way to prep skin for flawless base. I think you went over that.
Another thing is, I know I didn't use a primer because I used the moisture spray kind of as like my primer as my base, which I love to do that. I actually prefer that than like doing an actual primer. If you do use a primer, what I recommend is to do like, primers feel so good, and us as women, we get heavy-handed even with our creams. Like we just like go in, right?
Yeah.
But if you do primer, make sure that you do like less than what you think is right. So now what I'm doing is I'm just going in. I always like paint on the foundation with a brush, and I just go in and I just like make sure I'm pressing it into the skin with a beauty blender. So my clients, I feel like they hate when I like tell them like you need both, because they're like, I just want to use the beauty blender or just the brush, you know. But I feel like this step right here, it really just helps melt the foundation into the skin.
Wait, your clients don't like you to use it on them?
Oh no, like when I have clients in the store. Clients, when I have clients,
students, right?
Yeah. But when I have like the average consumer, like just friends or clients that are like, teach me how to do makeup, you know? Yeah, like students.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you need both, you know? And they're like, oh, do I really need to take both? They want either just the beauty blender or just the brush.
So another question was, how can I keep my foundation on my nose?
Oh, that's a really good one. Disclosure, what I'm telling this client might not work for them, but I like to ask my clients, like, when is the last time you exfoliated? Because especially right here, that's where we have like the biggest pores, right? So we're super oily here. So what happens if you're oily here and you're wearing makeup at the same time, it could clog your pores. So maybe the clients just overdo on exfoliating their skin, or maybe a really good facial.
So if you don't exfoliate, your skin gets oily?
Yeah. So pretty much this is how I like to identify. Oily skin can be, you probably heard, this is the first one, is either you're lacking moisture, right? So this is something a lot of people hear, especially with oily skin. People don't want to hear that because they're like, I'm oily, I don't want to moisturize, right? So it could either be that, or maybe your skin is really like, your pores are so clogged that it's just pushing out all the toxins. So it's something that's like you have to go within and actually like exfoliate the skin. If that doesn't work, then it could be something within maybe your daily water that you're drinking. I applied actually a concealer stick, and it's just like this. It's the Smashbox. It's a highlight, so it's more of a stick. Yeah.
Stick concealers always intimidate me.
Really?
I feel like they're going to be really drying. I've never tried that one.
If you ever feel like your concealer's too dry, I always like to go in with just a little bit of like moisture spray on my brush and like press it on top. Especially right here, I can see how that can be like scary because underneath the eyes, it's already a delicate area. Like we don't want to attract attention there, you know? I'm going to go ahead and jump into settings. So I already did foundation, concealer. I always do foundation first and then concealer after. How do you do it?
Foundation first. Sometimes I do color correcting a little bit, and then I do foundation and then concealer.
And then concealer? Yeah. So I always like to do it after. I just feel like it saves like less time that way, because I feel like foundation will kind of cover as much as possible, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take some setting powder. This part here, guys, on yourself especially, you want to make sure like you really try to like look up as far as possible. As far as possible, that way you get no creasing. And I use a foundation brush to do this part here.
So someone asked what the best foundation is for large pores. I think that goes back to skin prep, right? Yeah, so something you'll learn about me and my techniques is I always try to identify and treat instead of like cover. I'm not a big fan. I can recommend so many products that are like
created to like cover pore size. For example, like the Pore Minimizer by Smashbox, and we carry that item in store too, but that's not something that I would put a client in that's concerned about their large pore size. I would definitely like ask them, what are you doing to like fix it, not to cover it, you know? But there are products out there. I guess that would be the one I would like recommend. So this is another thing I've actually been doing a lot recently, and I feel like a lot, especially a lot more recently, I've been getting a lot more compliments as far as like my skin applications go. When I dust off the setting powder, I actually use a pigment powder. So I'm going to use a Smashbox one right now, but you can use like your favorite pigment powder, but I just use any one.
So like a pressed powder, right?
Yeah, and I always go like from out in. So, and you can feel like, I think my pressure has a lot to do with it too, so I'm sure you can feel my pressure. It's like it's very light, like barely dust and pick up, dust and pick up. Look up for me. So, sorry, did it swipe you in the eye?
No.
So I always like to go out, in, and then I start going this way. I have to say, these are like my favorite brushes to use, especially for underneath the eyes. I don't know why, I feel like underneath the eyes I have to use something with white, like white tips. And you want to go really, really light. So it like moisturized your skin really good with like the setting, the moisture spray and the moisturizer. I always like to go really light-handedly and almost tapping motions, because sometimes ourselves, like with our pressure, we can move the foundation that's already there.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're putting a powder on top, if you like dust it, it's almost like the remaining powder will like take your foundation away. So now I'm just taking the pigment powder and I'm going all over the face.
Do you think a brush or a beauty blender leave a perfect foundation look? Both, right? Mm-hmm. Look at you. You already knew all the questions. You have all the answers.
I overtalk.
What's a good moisturizer for dry skin and toner for redness?
Usually for redness, I like cucumber for redness, like if there's red in the skin. But anything with cucumber will really kind of like calm and soothe the skin, which most redness will usually need like calming or soothing.
That's a good tip. I didn't know that.
So I always like to do this. I completely powder the skin and then I go back in one more time with some moisture spray. I like do a lot of setting spray. I go through like setting sprays and moisture sprays so much. I would say like that's my main, is like I use a lot of that.
Because ain't no having beans, that's for sure.
Did
they?
Did you turn it off?
Yeah.
Se quemaron los frijoles.
This is another thing I've kind of been doing before I actually jump into the bronzer. I'll use something with like glow, like a pressed highlight. It could be like either a bronzer or just like a shimmer. It's almost like a highlight, huh?
Yeah.
It's a little
dark, so you can use it as a bronzer. So you can use like bronzer.
But I'll kind of just frame the face with something like that. And I'll press it.
Someone asked also that they said they have oily skin, but they have dry spots. And I think that has to do with exfoliation. Exfoliation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, exfoliating, and also they need to be moisturizing. So, like, a lot of it, like us as women, we already, like, with hormones and stuff, our pH balance can go off a little bit. So that leads to, like, combination skin, which is, like, dry spots and oiliness. One of the easiest ways to like combat that is hydrating the skin. That's one of the easiest ways, even if you're oily. If not, yeah, a good exfoliating, just to make sure like she's getting ready, because dryness can be dead skin, right? So now I'm going in with the Hoola bronzer. And I don't know if you feel like my pressure, but everything's more like tapping motions. I do like a short sweep, but it's not like long, like blending motions.
So I think that's it for skincare. I think you covered everything.
I'm going to contour the lids just a little bit with the Hoola bronzer.
Oh, it looks so like
glowy.
Glowy, yeah.
I went in on the highlight. I feel like it's so weird doing another makeup artist makeup.
Why?
I'm always afraid because I feel like we get used to like our own, you know, like our own things.
What else did they ask? They said, how did we meet? That was one of the questions we got.
Oh, that's a cool one.
I'll let you answer.
This one deserves a video though.
So we met a long time ago, and it's a really, really long story. So maybe we'll do a video.
I think that one totally did.
Yeah.
I worked for Julisa for a little bit, and then we reconnected when I opened the store.
Yeah.
And then, like...
a lot of years after that.
Yeah. It was so... it wasn't different. It wasn't different, but it was. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
I feel like we needed that time, right?
Yeah.
That we didn't see each other for a while.
Yeah.
Then, but it was weird because then when we came back together, it was just like...
we were literally taking a vacation like the next week with our families and all. They didn't even like, we're like, you're gonna meet the family on vacation.
Yeah,
like,
it was so cool.
It was so cool.
Yeah, but we'll do a video and then we'll talk about how we met and we'll go over like more personal stuff and we can talk more about business because we got a lot of questions about business.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I got a lot of questions about business too. I think a business one definitely deserves like a video. You like it?
Yeah.
I'm so scared. I'm like...
I like it.
I'm like, I hope it's not
like your skin. Like your skin always looks glowy. Mine looks all dry. I think I put too much powder.
It's so funny because like when I try to do like more mattifying, I just can't look at my skin. Like I can't. I feel like it's so funny because even sometimes people, like my girlfriends will be like, "Oh, I think it's time for you," and I'm like, "No, I like that."
I've done that to you. I've done that to you, and I'm like,
"Oh, and am I like?"
You're like, "No, don't take it off. I like it like that."
I don't know. It makes me feel like, because they say like a lot of people say like if you have dry skin, you get faster signs of aging. So I feel like if my skin
like,
still gets oily, I'm like,
there.
that's okay.
I need my oils, yeah. Alright guys, so I went ahead and put some lashes on and eyebrows because I was feeling a little bit weird, but she's gonna finish up now. I wanna look like you.
We're twinning. We have like so much in common, huh? That's gonna be good on our video too. All the things that we're like.
What do you use for contour and highlight for your clients?
So I love using it's very similar, the Frankie Rose contour palette.
Okay.
It's very similar. It has a lot of colors like that one. I feel like I could almost use anything now.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, like sometimes, well, like, especially when you first start, it feels like this is the only product I can use, no other one. But I feel like I can almost use anything.
What are some of the people that you've worked with?
So I think one of the biggest ones right now is the Ariana Grande. For like, I did a lot of her backup dancers, and I did her best friends with a couple of my friends did her best friends as well, like other artists. Taylor Parks, she actually is the one who writes a lot of her music. So that's one that I'm like, when I had her like sitting in my chair, I was so nervous. I don't know who else. Okay, so I did the Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, so that's a recent one too, the Black Eyed Peas. There's still more videos of theirs that have to be released. They kept me really busy at the end of last year, like that's super so busy. Cool. Yeah. Do you remember Ariane Andrews from the WWE? She did like the Total Divas. I want to say that's my first celebrity client like by myself. I assisted Angel a lot before with a lot of clients, and you know, as an assistant, you do a lot, you know. And then who else? I feel like my mind got all like cluttered right now. Like who else?
So much pressure.
Who else should I say?
You guys should follow her though. She always posts. I love seeing like all when you post your videos of the music videos that you've done.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. That's so cool.
I've been really busy, like super busy with like music videos. India Love, that's one of David's clients, and I've actually worked with her. Oh, Nas. Yeah. Yeah, Nas. Like, oh my gosh, I was like sweating. That one was crazy. Yeah. And then Will.i.am is a really good one. Well, from Black Eyed Peas, Taboo. Jessica, who's their new singer, she's really good. Who else? Recently I worked with, do you know who? I thought you were going to know who she is. Spacey Casey. She's a country singer. It was so funny because when I got called on that set, I was like, oh, my bestie's gonna be so proud of me.
That's so
She's
cool.
like a millennial, and her country music is like it's so cute. It's like, it has the country touch. Yeah. So her video just came out yesterday. I think she was like a 4-time winner Grammy. Damn. Yeah, and she's so sweet. She's so sweet. I think we're done.
Yeah? Yeah,
I'm gonna do a little bit of setting powder just to kind of like carve this out a little bit more. And then I'm going to add a little bit more blush, only because we talked about blush.
I like it. It looks like so fresh.
So I'm going to take this puff pad here. You're so pretty. I feel like every year you wear less and less makeup, and it's just like you're prettier and prettier.
Oh, thank you. I think I have to not wear so much makeup anymore. I don't want to say because I'm getting old. We said we're not going to say that anymore.
Yeah, we said we're not going to say that anymore. Okay, so this is like a good tip for especially like the your follower that said like what do we do for like oily skin.
Okay.
I always like to go just in the center and then look up for me. And I go one more time, underneath the eyes, and then a little bit here in the cheek. Wherever like we would get oily, right? And then I like to go here and then here because I feel like those are the places where we usually get oily. So I do it here on the sides to carve out.
Oh, I really like the way my makeup looks.
For reals?
Yeah. I'm gonna try doing that because I always set my entire face.
Yeah. See how like it just looks so healthy.
Yeah.
I like to call it like a J-Lo glow. It looks more healthy, not so like highlight, like
it looks like skin.
Like skin, yeah. I like the lashes you do too because I like how you do them in like sections. This my beautiful model. So we'll do a just eye one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do an eye one together.
We should. We should do it on each other.
But let us know, you guys.
Flattered.
Oh, let us know what you guys think. I love it. If you guys have questions for us,
or little here they come. You want to say hi really quick? You want to say hi? This is our. She's not sweaty. She's plain. She sweats a lot.
Say hi, Jimmy.
Say hi.
He's so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. We want to do another video, right, where we like talk about how we met and then talk more about business. We did get some business questions and we can just go over that because if we start now, we're gonna go on.
Oh yeah, we could literally talk for hours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So many questions.
I feel like I was nervous. I felt weird. I felt nervous when I do another makeup artist makeup.
Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to leave us a huge thumbs up. I'm gonna put her social media handles down below, and I just found out she has a YouTube channel too, so you guys can go subscribe to that, and then maybe we'll do a video on your channel.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Let's do it. We should.
All right, you guys. Thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Shout out your
oh my
Snapchat.
Yeah.
You come in. You have to come in. Make sure you guys follow her on Snapchat.
That's my other girl.